Station Space. Time right now is 4:43. We are just minutes away from the first launch of 2015 happening on the Space Coast this morning. A SpaceX rocket with cargo for the International Space Station is set to launch here in just a couple of minutes at 4:47 a.m. News 13's Jerry Hugh is live for us at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station this morning. Jerry, this is the second time this week they'll attempt this launch. It was scrubbed back on Tuesday because of a technical issue on the rocket. How's everything looking so far this morning?
Well, Sandra, there is a slight issue with one of the antennas, communication antennas, that helps relay information from the rocket itself to the eastern range, but NASA does not expect that to delay the launch here at 4:47 this morning. Weather also appears to be cooperating, 90% chance of favorable weather conditions here.
Looks a little cloudy from here.
This morning here on the NASA Causeway, but the 208-foot tall Falcon 9 rocket sits there on Space Launch Complex 40 at the Cape Canaveral Air Force Station, ready to go. Now, SpaceX appears to have resolved an issue with its thrust vector control system on the rocket's second stage. That caused the scrub on Tuesday. Now, with 1.3 million pounds of thrust, the rocket will light up the pre-dawn sky here on the Space Coast. This mission could make history all by using a barge. We know the saying, what goes up must come down. Well, after the first stage of the rocket separates from the second stage and the Dragon capsule, and the Dragon is on its way to the ISS, that first stage, SpaceX is going to use its engines, launch legs, and grid fins to help land it on a barge about 200 miles off the coast of Jacksonville. It's never been done before. SpaceX's CEO, Elon Musk, only giving it a 50-50 shot of working, but SpaceX is hoping that it will work.
We'll see.
Because they want to make rockets reusable and reuse this first stage to drive down costs for future launches. The company says, though, their primary goal this morning is to launch the Dragon capsule to the International Space Station with 5,000 pounds of cargo. We're now just about a minute away from launch here. I wanted to tell you, though, that if this rocket launches today, then it only has this 1 second window to launch, then it should meet up with the International Space Station, and that should happen Monday morning around 6:12. So we are very close to launch here. Let's listen into NASA commentary as we hope for the first launch of 2015 from the Space Coast.
Stage 2 tanks pressing the flight pressures.
I can't hear anything.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Standing by now for ignition of the main engines at T-minus 3 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Securing, liquid oxygen securing has started. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket with Dragon.
Looks pretty cloudy out there. We'll see if we can see it from here or not. Okay, let's take a field trip. See what we can see out here. You can see a glow in the sky there. See it? See the glow in the sky right there? There it is, see it? It's going up into the clouds again. There it is again. Through more clouds. See a little bit there. Some pretty thick clouds. There it goes. Deer rumbling. It's pretty cloudy. It got up so far and it just disappeared in the clouds there. I don't see it emerging at all. Surprised I saw as much as we did. Fairly overcast. Doesn't even leave a contrail. Is that good? Move back.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, okay.
This is WDAN Space News out here at 5 o'clock in the morning on a cloudy and kind of cool morning on the Space Coast. So let's go in and see if we see a replay of this.
Some launch legs so that it can land on a barge about 200 miles off the coast of Jacksonville. Now, once it lands, then some crews on a boat nearby will come to try and secure the rocket to this huge, massive, unmanned drone ship, autonomous spaceport drone ship is what SpaceX calls it, but this barge really is what it is. And it'll take some time for it to get back to the port of Jacksonville, where SpaceX will then study the first stage to figure out what exactly went on there, if this works, if they can do this in the future and reuse rockets, because that's the main goal. SpaceX could save millions of dollars per launch by being able to reuse just the first stage of the rocket, and that could drive down the cost of launches. Local space experts say that means we could see more launches here on the Space Coast, and that of course means more jobs for the Space Coast. So just a beautiful sight out here on the Space Coast, Sandra. A good way to start off the new year.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful sight. I know you felt it out there for sure alive this morning. And today we could potentially make history, or either way we'll make history, seeing how they're actually able to land this, or whether or not they're able to make that happen. I also want to remind you at home, if you're interested, we do have our online chat about this taking place right now. You can go to mynews13.com anytime.
Pretty of course, cloudy down here in Palm Bay
this morning. We thank you for joining us to take part in our live coverage this morning to actually see that take place. But again, for any information on this, you can always head to our website, mynews13.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And liftoff of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket with Dragon, continuing the resupply chain to the International Space Station.
Pitch kick is in.
GC proceeds at section 10.63.
Stage 1 propulsion is in. Altitude 5.5 kilometers, speed 250 meters per second, downrange distance 0.9 kilometers. Propulsion continues to perform nominally. Vehicle supersonic has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.